We need you, Rebecca.
This, oh, that's fantastic. Well, Pinterest is one of my favorite addictions. So we're first going to talk about the she-conomy, okay? 85% of all brand purchases are made by women. That's from butter to houses, ladies, so we have a lot of purchasing power in this country. 70% of the new businesses in this country are started by women. Women own 40% of all the privately held companies in the U.S. And American women spend about $5 trillion annually. That's over half of the U.S. GDP. So we've got money, and we spend it, and we tell our households how to spend it. So if you can think back to your own household, if you're married, or if you've got kids, or if you've got, like me, you've got your mother living there, the women in your house hold the power of where that dollar is spent. And for all of you that are married, how many here are married? All right, would your husband go out and buy a house without your input? Absolutely not, unless they wanted a divorce. Right? Okay, so we see how women have a lot of power with this. And we've come a long way when it comes to our online habits, okay? 22% of us shop online at least once daily. Anybody here online shopping at least once daily? Seriously, that's it? I need to introduce you guys to some amazing websites. Fab.com alone can take up half of my day. 92% of us pass along information about deals or finds and pass it on to others. So if you find like something like Fab.com, which is an amazing website for if you ever have any graphic designers in your life or real artsy people, you need to shop on there. So it's perfect for us. But we'll pass that on in a minute. A lot of those online clubs like Guilt Group, Outlook, Rue La La. How many of us have sent invitations out to our friends with that hope that we're going to get that $10 gift certificate? Anybody? Okay. How many of us have gotten it? $200 and something worth, sending it to friends. Okay? So 76% of us want to be part of a special or select panel. There are a lot of your favorite brands out there. For example, my background, I used to work in the beauty research and branding industry. Beauty companies want to hear from you. You go to L'Oreal.com, you can sign up for their online panel, you can get free stuff in the mail that you have to evaluate before it's even on the market, okay? So, but all of these brands, they want to know what you want. They want to hear back from you, okay? So, are you speaking their language? 91% of women feel that advertisers don't understand them. You guys feel that way? Do you feel like advertisers are pitching something to you that you don't really care about, you don't know about? Yes? Show of hands? Show of hands? Yes? All right. That's because 3% of creative directors are women. That's a very low number considering our buying power. Let's get some more female creative directors. All right. So welcome to Pinterest. Pinterest is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay? The people that pin, 87% are female. Why do we think that is? I will tell you, from my experience, we as women, we love to be aspirational, right? We buy those glossy magazines. We want to look like those superstars. We love to have like little idea boards or vision boards. Some of you might have. Who has a vision board? Anybody? Okay, who has a vision board on Pinterest? Yeah, right here. Right here. And if you look at it, the age range is about 18 to 55 is where your bulk is. Well, it's 25 to 55 is where your bulk is. So if you are marketing to women 18 to 55, this is where you need to have your message on. Okay? They want to hear from you. All right. They also make between $25,000 and $100,000 a year. So, hands up. Your target market are women ages 25 to 55 who make $25,000 to $100,000 a year. Okay? Great. So, if it isn't, don't waste your time. Use Pinterest for fun. Okay? If this is not your target market, you need to find out where your target market is. Okay? So, if it is, let's do this. Okay? But let's keep top of mind, it's your business. Because Pinterest can become a black hole of time, energy, creative juices. I know that on a rainy Sunday afternoon, I can spend 4 or 5 hours on Pinterest getting nothing accomplished, but I will have a fantastic time, okay? Oh, come on, let's admit it. We've all got sucked into the black hole of social media at some point, correct? Okay, so there are 3 basic terms that we're gonna review here. Pin, a board, and a repin, okay? So pin is an image added to Pinterest. A pin can be added from a website using a pin it button, or you can upload the images from your computer. Each pin added using the pin it button backlinks to the site where it came from. Does that make sense to everybody here? Any questions on that? If you upload an image directly on as a pin, it will not take you anywhere else. From a business standpoint, your goal is to get them to all come back to you, right? Bring it back to me. So you want to make sure when you're pinning an item, don't just upload an image. It's not going to take them anywhere. Make sure you find a way to include that image into your website and pin it from your website, okay? So then we have a board. A board is a collection of pins. A board can be created on any topic, such as cool posters, recipes for dinner, a wish list. You can add as many pins to a board as you want. For example, on my Pinterest, okay, my Pinterest has a dual purpose. Because of the industry that I'm in, I'm allowed to market my business with my personal. I'm blessed in that regard. I brand my company as part of myself. So my Pinterest boards are quite varied. They run from Imagine Design, being from directly about my business, to my clients. I have Paul Wheeler pinned on there. I have a couple of other people pinned on there. I also have a whole thing on Imagine Design geek stuff because we're a bunch of nerds and we will pin about the latest Star Trek or Doctor Who findings. But then as you keep going into my Pinterest, you will find my wedding Pinterest board, which I've been married for 6.5 years, but I want to totally do it again. Thank you, Pinterest. You will also see my recipe ideas. You will also see my pins, like 300 and something pins on shoes, okay? I have a problem. But you will see the variety of things that you can pin on. Peggy Kimmy has been very innovative. Peggy has a class on the law of attraction. And part of the law of attraction, as a lot of us know, is making that vision board. What she's done is actually create a vision board that her and I share that is for my visioning and to help me get on track with what I want. Okay? So we clear on what a board is. All right. And then a repin. A repin is adding an image you find while browsing Pinterest to your own board. When you repin an image, the user who first pinned the image will also get credit. The pin maintains the source link of the image no matter how many times it gets repinned. That's pretty easy, right? Any questions on that? All right. So, what our goal is a multi-platform, holistic digital strategy. Yeah. Love it, right? You're like, yep, I'm totally into that. I'm working that right now. So what does that really mean? It means you're looking to engage your customer while they are there. You're looking to use Pinterest as your online catalog. You can use your Pinterest content to cross-pollinate with your other social networks. So like your Facebook, your Twitter, your blog, your LinkedIn, your website, all of these things working together, all speaking the same voice, the same message across a bunch of different platforms. Are we good with that? Do we like the marketing speak that someone is going to throw at you? All right, so we're going to first start off with our prep time because everything needs to have a little bit of prep, okay? So you want to make sure that you set up your account properly. You want to make sure that, for example, if you want to look at my Pinterest board, it is pinterest.com/WeFightUgly. Okay? Because that is part of my tagline. Tagline for my company is Doctors Fight Disease, Lawyers Fight Injustice, and We Fight Ugly. You will hear me say it. If any of you have heard me talk before, you've heard me say it probably 1,000 times. But I made sure to have that in my address for Pinterest. Okay? So, for example, Peggy Kimmy would want to make sure that she's got hers done correctly. Johanna from Simplicity Events would want to have Pinterest.com/Simplicity Events. If we did a Gale Tech one for Amanda, Pinterest.com/Gale Tech. Okay? We want to make sure our profile picture is 160 pixels by 160 pixels. Do not put some stretch, weird, crazy-looking image on there because you are talking about a purely visual medium here. You want to make sure that is perfection. You want to integrate pinning tools into your website. God bless you. God bless you. Depending on what type of website you have, it should not be that difficult. A lot of us have WordPress sites. It's just a matter of integrating an extra piece in. It's a plugin, and you can and it'll have a little button shows up next to your images, and it'll say pin it. Love that. Makes it so much easier for other people to be like, oh, I love that image on their website. I'm going to pin that myself. Research on what your ideal client is pinning. Think about your top 10 clients. But like, for example, for Mary Kay, I'm sure you know who your top 10 clients are, the ladies who spend the most money. Find out if they've got a Pinterest board. Find out what they're pinning, what their interests are, and what kind of things that they want to see from you. Okay? And then be copyright savvy. Read the rules. There's a lot of rules involving copyright. There's a lot of debate about Pinterest because of the copyright issues. You want to make sure that you're familiar with that. Do not give, make sure as long as you're giving credit, and as long as you're pinning from other people's sites, 99,000 people don't care. But there is that one person who may. You want to make sure you're at least familiar and know enough to be dangerous with the copyright rules. You want to add watermarks to your own images. If you're a photographer like Kathy, okay, we've all seen floating around here doing pictures, you want to make sure that if that's an original photograph, that you watermark it, or some people have actually been putting little picture frames on it and adding in their website. That's an amazing idea. That way, no matter if someone downloads that image and puts it back up somewhere else, it still has your website in it. You want to make sure that you are trying to reach as many people as you possibly can. Okay? Create boards with a range of themes. My company is a graphic design company. If I did nothing but graphic design pins, you guys would be bored as heck and no one would ever come to visit my boards, right? I mean, how excited about fonts do you guys get? I mean, my team gets over the moon, okay? But if you know me and you go, oh, well, you know what? I know she's got to have some amazing shoes on there. I'm totally going to go take a look at that. And while you're looking at my boards, you happen to look at what my work is. You happen to see what my clients do. That's the way you want to build that relationship and make sure you get that likability factor. Okay? Do we have any questions on the prep? Okay. So pinning. Like I just alluded to, it's not all about you. Please don't pin nothing but you. No one will come back. You want to make sure that your images are beautiful. Don't pin something that's like a weird blurry picture of your dog that nobody can tell what it is. Instagram is a really fun tool. They actually have it online now, so you can actually play with your images actually on the computer as opposed to just on your phone. You want to make sure that these are gorgeous images because it's all about visuals, okay? You want to tell stories and tap into people's emotions. I have a whole board about furry things because I'm a dog, cat, anything with a fur coat, I'm into it, besides actually real fur coats. You want to tap into emotions. Remember, these are women. We love emotional stories. We love having that visual that just tells that incredible story. That's one of the reasons why Twilight is so popular, because it taps into emotion. Even though they're the emotions of a 13-year-old girl that we all have trapped inside of us, it still taps into emotion, okay? So you want variety. You can pin anything. You can pin videos, you can pin some text. There's tons of infographics out there. You can pin on a variety of topics. You want to embrace the fun of Pinterest. Whimsy goes a long way. People are looking for stuff that's fun, has a sense of humor. Like I just found these amazing centerpieces that look like the bowls here, and they are filled with blue Jello and Swedish fish. I thought that was the most amazing thing ever, and as I'm planning a Red Cross prom, I was totally into it. You want to make sure that you include captions, add calls to actions when you can, but avoid the hard sell. Most of us women do not like to be on the receiving end of a hard sell. Choose strong board covers for maximum impact. As you're playing with Pinterest, you will see that you can put board covers on your boards, so that just pick out the picture that you love the most and that speaks to you the most, and it will go a long way. Okay, so next is engage and evaluate. So the point is for you to build traffic back to your own site and cashing in on it. So whether that is getting a new client, whether maybe some of you have, I have a friend who's got a YouTube account who has over 1 million views on his YouTube account. He makes money off of that account. So if he can build traffic back there, he's making money. Some of you have affiliate programs that you may be partnering with, whether it's Amazon, Hay House. There's a bunch of publishers out there who want to get that business. If you're going to make money that way, cash in on it. Make sure that you're getting people back to that area of your website, making the money off of it. So you want to engage. So you want to follow other people. You want to follow your clients. You want to follow all your Facebook friends. You want to follow the leaders in your industry. Magazines are an amazing place to follow, whether you're using this for personal or for business. Magazines have really dominated this industry in showing people how to do it and how to do it right. For wedding planners, there's a lot of places that you can follow that are caterers, that are concepting a wedding. There's a lot of really great content. You also want to make sure you follow every single one of your competitors that may be on there and find out what they're doing good, what they're doing bad, how they're doing it, okay? So you want to follow, pin, like, comment, repeat. Keep the engagement going. The whole purpose of social media from a business standpoint is to build that relationship prior to needing it. It's having somebody know you, know who you are, know who your business is before they ever even think to use you, okay? Tag your pins with the @ sign or the hashtag. So the @ sign, has anybody here on Twitter? Twitter. Has anybody here used the @ sign on Facebook? Yes? Okay, that's how you can tag your friends. So you put the @ sign in, you start typing in somebody's name, and all of a sudden magically a little menu pops up. You can tag that person's name, and they can see that pin that you just tagged for them. So for Terry, I might look at some fabulous garden, and I'll be like, hey Terry, can you make that for me? And so she can see that I'm engaging with her and starting a conversation. The hashtag is for when people search for things. If they're searching for a specific topic, they will oftentimes use the hashtag to try to search for them within Pinterest. So when you add in your comments, you want to make sure you have some of these things in there. Time your pins. Please don't dump all your pins at one time. Time them over the week. Set aside certain amounts of time that you're going to spend on your social media planning. Whether it's with Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, you want to make sure you have a time allotted. And test out your times. See when you actually get repinned. You know, I know on a Sunday afternoon, especially if the weather's bad, I know that I can get a lot of repins going just because I know a lot of people who I know are going to be at home and they're going to be like, oh, well, I'm not going to be doing anything this afternoon, maybe I'll play on Pinterest. Promote your Pinterest account. There's a tool that not a lot of us use effectively or even at all, which is our email signatures. What is on your email signature? Hands up who has their Facebook link on their email signature. Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn, website. All right, ladies, we could probably add all of this information onto your email signature, and you would see all of a sudden people would start clicking on it. You start getting more friends. You start building those conversations. I've already covered learn from your competition. There's this website address, www.pinterest.com/source/yoursite.com, whatever your site is. You can actually see who has pinned from your site. So you can actually track, oh, well, my site is really getting a lot of pins. My site really must be that beautiful. Consider competitions or promotions to get users involved. There's a lot of these magazines do a great job with these competitions where they're like, build a board about your dog, build a board about your ideal wedding, and hashtag, Zappos in there, and we'll see who wins. And it's a way to get people involved. It's a way to also get them to get on their website and get that pin, okay? Check your analytics of your website. Who here is responsible for their website? For their company's website? That it? Do you guys all have Google Analytics set up on your site? Yes? Sort of? Yes? Yes? Regina? All right. We'll have to get that set up. All right, so, and I know the chamber, you guys have it set up on your site. Check your analytics, see how you do. If you set this up, and let's say you're working on this 6 months and you realize I've been spending 25 hours a month on this, and guess what? It's not doing anything for the traffic for my business, then you need to reevaluate where you're going. You've got to make sure you've got some sort of metrics there so you know how to track it, okay? So, lather, rinse, repeat. We've all read that on the side of our shampoo bottle, okay? So, make sure you're keeping up the conversation. Schedule the pinning into your week and evaluate it. Evaluate, evaluate, evaluate. Make sure it is worth it. Social media is not your quick fix. If you expect to make $10 million by the end of next week because you put up a Pinterest board, you are wrong, okay? Any method of social media, whether it's Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, you are not going to see overnight results. It really is paving the way to make that conversation happen, to get that client, to get somebody interested enough to pick up the phone. But if you are not seeing even the traffic increase on your website, there is no point in you staying. As much as I love Pinterest, keep it for personal, but there's no reason for you to stay in it for business. So, that is it. So who has questions? Did I cover too much?
When you said hashtag Zappos, what does that do?
So if no one could hear her, she wants an explanation of the hashtags. So if I post a picture of, let's say, my dog, right? I've pinned it back from my website, and I put hashtag cutest puppy in the world. If someone actually runs a search for cutest puppy in the world, more than likely my pin will show up. So it's really it's denoting it as a keyword, and so you want to make sure you add in some keywords into your pins, okay?
I know with like the WordPress, you said there is an app. Do you know if there's anything for Blogger? Because I don't remember seeing anything, and I have a Blogger blog that I need to figure that out for.
I would imagine there's got to be. But you can take a look on the Pinterest site itself. If you go to the help section, they may have some information there, or on the Blogger itself.
Yeah, I looked on Blogger and I couldn't find anything. So.
Or you might want to change over to Word.
That's what everybody keeps telling me, but I'm a little intimidated by having to find my own hosting and all this and that. So.
Well, you don't necessarily have to find your own hosting with WordPress?
Well, from what I saw, the way I'd want to do it, I think I'd have to. So.
Well, talk to me later. I'll talk about hosting.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you give us an example or like a site or something that show us in real life how this works?
Well, you just go to Pinterest. You can go to my Pinterest account and take a look and see how, it's Pinterest.com/WeFightUgly. And if you just type We Fight Ugly into the search in Pinterest, you can see my boards. And you can kind of get a feeling for how I work them. Some people are just using it strictly as an online catalog, and I've actually sent the Pinterest board of my clients to another client and said, oh, well, you want to see, some of the websites that we've done? Here, let me send you my Pinterest board. Because it also gives them, it also means they can take a look at the rest of our stuff and see kind of who we are and how we work.
Can we get a copy of your presentation?
Of course you can. Emily, would it be easier for me to just give it to you?
Yeah, and I can post it online today while we're here.
All right, it's going to have to be a link because it's big, because it's heavy design. Yes?
What are the security risks of having Pinterest? Because I had set up an account, but I didn't really do a whole lot with it. And then all of a sudden I started seeing on my Facebook that somebody had taken, that they had repinned a picture I had pinned, but I had never pinned that picture.
You might have gotten hacked.
So I thought,
Yeah.
how does that happen? Is there a way that people can hack in and
That
Absolutely.
happened
Do
to me
stuff?
once.
Yeah,
Well-
people can hack into just about every account.
right?
you have.
So how do you protect yourself
Yeah.
from that?
Strong passwords are definitely, make sure you have like combinations of numbers and letters, and sometimes capitals.
Actually, yeah.
Different for each platform too,
Yeah.
because that's what I think happened to mine, is somehow something got through one of the things that linked them together, and I had my Pinterest hacked, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some of the downfalls of Pinterest are the fact that it's, you know, as in any social media, it can get hacked. There's also no way to block people, which that can be an issue. Some of us don't like to have all of our information out there. And so I would warn people against posting anything too personal.
They have private ones now too, though.
They now just launched, you can actually do 3 private boards that you, so like, let's say a lot of women who get pregnant don't want to tell anybody that they're pregnant for the first, I've never remember, 3 months, is it right? Yes. Okay, thank you. So they don't want to tell anyone, but they want to start gathering information and storing it somewhere where they can come back to it. Well, Pinterest is a great place for that, but if you don't want to have everybody know about it, you can actually create a private board. So they're starting it. Remember, Pinterest is less than 2 years old, so it is still evolving as to what it's going to end up being. So you kind of have to just keep your eyes open. Just like with Facebook, whenever Facebook makes a change, everybody gripes about it and everybody flips out. But I'm like, this is something for free, guys. Really, you don't pay for your Facebook page. So yes, they're going to data mine you. Yes, there's going to be a certain amount of privacy you're going to have to give up. But for a free service, that's kind of, they have to make money their way. Yes?
Free? Is this free?
Yeah, Pinterest is totally free.
So how do you make profit on this?
You make profit by getting people back to your website. You make profit by selling from there, or depending on what your industry is. Some people make profit from their affiliate programs that they have on their websites. So does anybody else have any other questions? Who's going to go home and open up a Pinterest account? You just open mine up? Anybody else going to open up a Pinterest account? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Well, I hope you guys take a minute and like my board. I will completely follow you back. And I hope that this gives you guys some food for thought. I want to make sure that it's the right thing for your industry, it's the right thing for your time, and make sure you maintain the value of what your time is worth if it's not going to work for your industry.